Most people think that the further you get from the sun, the colder and quieter everything gets. And mostly that is true. The outer solar system is dark. It is frozen. It is silent. But there is one place out there that completely breaks that rule. One small world sitting deep in the outer solar system that is more geologically alive than anywhere else we have ever found, more volcanically active than Earth, more chaotic and violent than anything scientists expected to find this far from the sun. It is not a planet. It is a moon of Jupiter called Io. And when NASA recently sent a spacecraft close enough to actually see its surface in detail for the first time in decades, what they found left scientists genuinely stunned. Mountains that have no right to exist. Lava lakes, the size of small countries. A surface that is being completely reshaped over and over again in a cycle of destruction that has been going on for billions of years. Today, we are going to talk about everything NASA discovered on Io and why this strange little moon might be one of the most remarkable places in our entire solar system. Before we get into the new discoveries, let us first understand what Io actually is and where it sits. Jupiter has nearly 100 moons. Most of them are tiny captured rocks just a few kilometers across, but 4 of them are enormous. These 4 large moons are called the Galilean moons because the astronomer Galileo first spotted them through a telescope all the way back in 1610. The 4 are called Ganymede, Callisto, Europa, and Io. Ganymede and Callisto are the 2 outer, large moons. Both are ancient frozen worlds covered in craters. Europa is fascinating in its own right because it has a smooth, icy surface covering what scientists believe is a vast ocean of liquid water underneath. We will definitely do a video on Europa soon. But today we are talking about the innermost of the 4 large moons, Io. It sits about 350,000 kilometers above Jupiter's cloud tops. That is roughly the same distance as between Earth and our own moon. And it is about the same size as our moon too, just slightly bigger and heavier. But what happens on Io is nothing like what happens on our quiet, dead, crater-covered moon. Here is the first thing that makes Io completely unique. It is the most volcanically active body in the entire solar system. Not the most volcanically active moon, the most volcanically active anything. More active than Earth. More active than anywhere else we know of. Scientists estimate there are up to 400 active volcanoes on Io's surface. 400. Active ones. Not dormant, not extinct. Actively erupting. The entire surface of this moon is covered in volcanic activity. Lava flows, eruption plumes, lakes of molten rock stretching for hundreds of kilometers. When the Voyager 1 spacecraft flew past Jupiter back in 1979, it became the first probe to get close enough to see Io clearly. And even using cameras that were primitive by today's standards, Voyager spotted 9 separate volcanic eruptions happening simultaneously as it flew past. Scientists were completely shocked. Nobody had predicted this. Nobody expected to find a volcanically raging world this far from the sun. It changed everything we thought we knew about what was possible in the outer solar system. So the obvious question is, where is all this heat coming from? On Earth, Our volcanic activity is powered by heat trapped inside the planet from when it first formed, billions of years ago, and from the decay of radioactive elements in the interior. But Io is too small for that to be the full answer. The heat inside Io from its formation should have escaped long ago. Io should be cold and dead, and yet it is the most volcanically active place we know of. The answer comes from Jupiter, and it is one of the most fascinating things in all of planetary science. It is called tidal heating. Here is how it works. Jupiter is enormous, its gravity is immense, and Io orbits very close to it. That gravity pulls on Io constantly. It physically stretches and deforms the Moon as it orbits. Now Io does not orbit Jupiter in a perfect circle. It orbits in a slightly oval shape because the gravity of the other Galilean moons, Europa and Ganymede, pulls on it and disrupts its orbit slightly. This means sometimes Io is closer to Jupiter and sometimes it is a bit further away. As it gets closer, Jupiter's gravity pulls on it more strongly. As it moves further away, the pull relaxes. This constant squeezing and stretching of the entire Moon generates enormous amounts of heat inside it, through friction. The same way that if you bend a metal rod back and forth repeatedly, it gets warm at the point where you are bending it. Io is being bent back and forth by gravity, constantly, and the heat generated by that friction drives all the volcanic activity. The surface of Io actually bulges up and down by as much as 100 meters as it orbits Jupiter. 100 meters of the solid surface, rising and falling. Imagine standing on a piece of ground that rises and falls by the height of a 30-story building every couple of days. That is what the surface of Io experiences, and that is what powers those 400 volcanoes. Now, let us talk about what the volcanoes on Io actually look like, because they are very different from what we see on Earth. On Earth, most of our major volcanoes form mountains. Over thousands of eruptions, lava piles up and creates the classic cone-shaped volcanic mountain we all picture. Think of Hawaii or Mount Fuji. The lava builds up layer by layer, and the mountain grows. On Io, this does not happen. The volcanic activity is so extreme and so widespread that instead of building mountains, the eruptions tend to cause the surface to collapse. When lava bursts out from below and the pressure is released, the ground above sinks down. Lava floods in to fill the void, and what you get instead of a mountain is a lake, a lava lake. These can be enormous. The largest lava lake on Io is called Loki Patera. It is 200 kilometers across. 200 kilometers of liquid molten rock sitting in a giant bowl-shaped depression on the surface. It has a large island of solidified rock sitting in the middle, surrounded by the churning liquid lava around it. From above, it looks almost like a black eye. It is one of the largest lava lakes in the known solar system, and it sits on a moon smaller than Earth's moon. The eruptions themselves are spectacular, even by solar system standards. When a new eruption breaks out on Io, it does not just ooze lava slowly, like many eruptions on Earth. The initial blast can throw material dozens of kilometers straight up into the sky. Above that, a plume of sulfur gas can rise hundreds of kilometers into the atmosphere, hundreds of kilometers high. These plumes are so large that early spacecraft could see them from tens of thousands of kilometers away. The sulfur gets ejected into Io's thin atmosphere and eventually settles back down onto the surface, coating everything around the volcano in bright yellow sulfur deposits. This is why Io looks the way it does from space. It is not grey and rocky like our moon, or red and dusty like Mars. It is yellow and orange and white and red, a patchwork of colors created entirely by sulfur chemistry. The yellow areas are sulfur crystals that are frozen in the cold regions away from the volcanoes. The white patches are frozen sulfur dioxide, sitting in the coldest shadowed areas of the surface. The bright red zones around active volcanic areas are fresh sulfur that is still being heated. And the surface is constantly changing as new eruptions create new deposits and old ones are buried under fresh lava flows. Now let us talk about the new discoveries, the ones that recently shocked scientists all over again. NASA's Juno spacecraft arrived at Jupiter in 2016. Its original mission was to study Jupiter's atmosphere and magnetic field. It did that for years, sending back remarkable data. Then, after completing its primary mission, Juno was given a new assignment: study the Galilean moons. In December 2023, and then again in February 2024, Juno flew closer to Io than any spacecraft had in over 20 years, coming within just 1,500 kilometers of the surface, close enough to see details that had never been visible before. And what Juno's cameras captured was something nobody had fully anticipated. Mountains. Enormous, strange, completely inexplicable mountains stabbing up out of the surface of Io. Not in ranges like the mountains on Earth. Not clustered together in the way mountains usually form. These were solitary peaks. Individual mountains rising up completely alone from the flat volcanic plains around them, like enormous spikes driven into the ground from below. The tallest one rises 18 kilometers above the surrounding terrain. 18 kilometers. Mount Everest on Earth is about 8.8 kilometers above sea level. This mountain on Io is more than double that height. And it stands completely alone in the middle of a flat volcanic landscape, with no other mountains anywhere near it. Scientists named one of the most striking ones Steeple Mountain because it looks like the pointed spire of a church. Razor sharp, impossibly steep, rising straight up out of the flat, colorful surface around it, like something from a science fiction landscape. So why do these mountains exist, and why are they so strange? The answer is connected to the volcanoes, but in a way that is not immediately obvious. Remember how the volcanic activity causes the surface to constantly collapse and form lava lakes. When the ground sinks down in one area, all that pressure and rock has to go somewhere. Scientists believe it gets pushed sideways and then upward, creating an area of intense compression nearby. And under enough pressure, the rock gets forced upwards suddenly and dramatically, not slowly building up over millions of years like a mountain on Earth. Suddenly, violently, a mountain that essentially explodes upward from the ground. And because of the constant volcanic activity happening all around it, the mountain exists in a landscape that is perpetually being reshaped. Lava flowing around its base, sulfur raining down from the sky coating its slopes. The whole environment around it changing constantly, while the mountain itself stands there among all the chaos. And Io's landscape is truly unlike anything else in our solar system. Because the volcanic activity is so intense and so widespread, Io has almost no impact craters. On most worlds in our solar system, the surface is covered in craters left behind by asteroids and meteorites that have hit it over billions of years. Our moon is covered in them, Mercury is covered in them. Even Mars has thousands. But Io barely has any, because any crater that forms gets quickly buried under new lava flows or sulfur deposits. The surface is being completely recycled and replaced so fast that old features just disappear. Scientists estimate that new material buries the entire surface of Io to a depth of several centimeters every year. over millions of years. This means the entire surface has been replaced many times over. Io is constantly erasing its own history. A world that permanently forgets its past and starts fresh again and again. One of the other fascinating things about Io is its atmosphere. Most moons in the outer solar system have no atmosphere at all, or an incredibly thin one, but Io has a real atmosphere made mostly of sulfur dioxide gas. It comes directly from the volcanoes, which constantly pump sulfur compounds into the sky. The atmosphere is thin compared to Earth's, but it is there, and it behaves in a very strange way. On the side of Io facing away from the sun, the sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere actually freezes and falls out of the sky as snow. Then when that side rotates back into sunlight, the frozen sulfur dioxide on the surface warms up and turns back into gas, rising back up into the atmosphere. The atmosphere of Io literally snows, and then evaporates, and then snows again as the moon rotates. It is one of the most bizarre atmospheric cycles anywhere in the solar system. Jupiter's radiation belts also make Io's environment extraordinarily hostile. Jupiter has the most powerful magnetic field of any planet in our solar system, and it traps enormous amounts of radiation in belts around the planet. Io orbits right inside these radiation belts. The surface of Io is constantly bombarded by high-energy charged particles from Jupiter. This radiation interacts with the sulfur compounds on the surface and in the atmosphere, creating new chemical compounds and giving some regions their distinctive green color. It also makes Io an incredibly dangerous place for any spacecraft. The radiation environment around Io is so intense that electronics on spacecraft start to malfunction after extended exposure. This is part of why there have been no dedicated missions specifically to Io. The radiation makes it extremely challenging to design a probe that could survive in that environment long enough to do meaningful science. Despite all the challenges, Io remains one of the most scientifically valuable targets in the entire solar system. Every time we manage to get a spacecraft close enough to look at it properly, we discover something new. The Juno flybys in 2023 and 2024 revealed details about the surface that nobody had expected, and scientists are still working through all the data, trying to understand exactly what they are seeing. There is currently no spacecraft heading specifically to Io in the near future. The next major missions to the Jupiter system are focused on Europa and Ganymede. But scientists are already making the case for a dedicated Io mission, a probe that could orbit Io specifically and study its volcanoes and mountains and lava lakes in detail. Given how much Juno discovered in just 2 quick flybys, the amount we could learn from an orbiting mission is almost impossible to predict. Io is a reminder that our solar system is full of places that break every expectation we have. A moon the size of our moon, sitting billions of kilometers from the sun, should be cold and dead and unremarkable. Instead, it is the most volcanically active body we know of in the entire solar system, powered not by its own internal heat, but by the gravitational pull of a giant planet, squeezing it like a rubber ball billions of times. Creating 400 volcanoes and lava lakes the size of countries, and impossible mountains rising alone out of flat sulfur plains. We found all of this with one spacecraft doing 2 quick flybys. Imagine what we still have left to find. That is everything for today. If this changed how you think about our solar system, please subscribe, because we have so much more coming. Next time, we are going to go to another moon in our solar system that is hiding something even more surprising under its surface. Something that has scientists more excited than almost anything else in space right now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.